Hello student, today we are going to talk about protocols, especially the Bittorrent Protocol. The Bittorrent Protocol is used in the peer-to-peer network for sharing of files. Before you start this chapter, you may have a look to the following video in YouTube. And after this chapter, you can attempt the following exam questions. Let's start by defining what is a protocol. A protocol is a set of rules, you can say standard set of rules, governing communication across a network. These rules are agreed by both the sender and the recipient. The protocol that we are looking today is a Bittorrent protocol. It is a communication protocol. It is used again in the peer-to-peer network, especially for sharing of files between the peers. Who are the peers? They are the computers in the network. Now, Bittorrent is a software, it's a client software. It allows the user to join the swarm of hosts. Why you want to join this swarm of hosts? In order to upload and download files from each other simultaneously. It means when you join this swarm of hosts, a network of computers, you can share files among each other. This way, the final download is made up of segments of files. It means you don't have to download the whole file. You can download part of the file, which are originated from a number of different sources. What are the different sources? It can be all the members of the swarm. Now, traditionally, before the Bittorrent protocol, how the peer-to-peer file sharing was done. There was a single source, the server, okay, and the client's computers were downloading files, requesting files from a single server. So what was happening? The server, these traditional methods, the central server was getting a heavy load of work to do because all the clients were requesting files from the server. So as a result, the bandwidths were decreasing as a large files are being shared among a large audience. But nowadays, because of Bittorrent, things are being done faster. That is, the large files on the central computer clients can download the files, can share the files from each other. So the load of work from the server was considerably decreased and less bandwidths were required. So in this way, each member of the network, each computer was contributing in the network by uploading and downloading at the same time. So the user who wants to make a file available had to upload the file, create an identification file, and this identification file was called the torrent descript, and they will distribute this file by email or giving notification on the web. This descriptor file contains a metadata about the file to be made available. So first the user had to search for the torrent file, and then the client can use a Bittorrent client software, okay, to download these files. So the descriptor files are given to other torrent nodes, and which acts as peers or leeches. Download can then be initiated at any peer by connecting with the seed and other peers which are in possession of the descriptor file. Now, a file can be made available by dividing it into segments, into pieces, where each peer receives a piece of that file and can act as a distributor of that piece to others in the swarm. This fundamental idea of BitTorrent task of distributing the file is shared by a number of peers. So earlier, the server was distributing the entire file. But now what is happening? All the peers are contributing to share the file. So the load of work of the server is considerably decreased. Now, what files are made available for download? The torrent file. What is the torrent file? It is not the actual video. It is not the actual sound. Okay. It is a descriptor file. So the Bittorrent client software use the descriptor files that contains data about the tracker. This is a computer that monitors. Now, why tracker is important? Tracker is a computer that monitors the identity of the peers who are currently members of the swarm of this torrent file. The list initially shows only the seeders, but with this information, the potential peers can start to download the file. Next, who are peers? A client who is part of the peer-to-peer network, and the idea of sharing files in that community, in that group. So in this diagram you can see there are new peers requesting to download. So this one is a new peer requesting to download files, and the original peer uploading the file. Peers are acting as, so all these computers are peers. Okay, the peers are acting as seed. So they are seed. What are seed? Seeds contain all the information about the file. Peers acting as leeches. So the arrow here you can see you can upload and download pieces. This is only downloading. So the peers, the leeches can only download. And this arrow means you can only upload. So as the original peer who uploaded the file is the one only uploading the file. And this arrow is used for requesting to download. We will assume that 12 peers have been connected to the tracker. One peer must begin to upload a video file, and 6 peers are acting as seeds. 2 peers are behaving as leeches, and 3 peers have just joined and have requested to download the video file. So we have to know this definition. What is a tracker? A tracker is a central server that stores details of all other computers in that swarm. It will store details about all the peers downloading and uploading the files. It allows the peers to locate each other using the stored IP address. Swarm. What is a swarm? Swarm are all the client computers, which are called peers, that are connected together, the idea to share the torrent file. So swarm is a group of peers, a group of client computers connected together is known as swarm. One of the most important facts when considering whether or not a swarm can continue to allow peers to complete a torrent file is its availability. Availability refers to the number of complete copies of the torrent contents that are distributed among the swarm. A torrent is simply the name given to a file being shared on the peer-to-peer network. A seed is a peer, it's a computer that has downloaded a file or piece of a file and has then made it available to other peers in the swarm. What are leeches? Leeches is a peer with a negative feedback from the swarms. What do you understand by negative feedback? Peers that has a negative impact on the swarm. What do you understand by negative impact? Having a poor sharing ratio. They don't share, they only download. They only take the file. They take more data than they upload. Okay. The ratio can be determined. How you calculate the ratio of downloading and uploading? The ratio can be calculated as the amount of data uploaded divided by amount of data downloaded. If the ratio is greater than 1, it means that the peer is contributing positively. Impact is uploading more than downloading. But if the ratio is less than 1, it means that the peer is contributing negatively in this one. It's only taking the file. It's not uploading. Who are lurker? They are client that downloads the file but does not supply any new content to the community. So peers that download many files but does not make available any new content for the community as a whole. They don't give other people whatever they have downloaded. You can say they are like parasites. They just take the advantage of it. Describe how Bittorrent peer-to-peer is different from the traditional peer-to-peer and the advantages of using the Bittorrent protocol. of Bittorrent client software. With Bittorrent, the nature of the recipient of the pieces is non-sequential. What does this mean? You don't have to download the file in order. You can download in any order, and then it can be reassembled. Another advantage of peer-to-peer Bittorrent, the requests to the peer for a piece of information or file have a relatively small file, so it has less impact on the bandwidth. Bittorrent make IP connection to many peers' computers. Traditional downloading makes a single IP connection from the host to the server. The integrity of the file transfer is implemented by adding a hash function data to each piece. Bittorrent software must keep a log which pieces it has successfully received, and so it can be made available to other peers. Which pieces of the file are outstanding, means waiting to be downloaded. The download can be paused at any time, which makes this approach well suited for transfer of large files. So if at any time the connection has stopped, you can restore the connection. You can restore the download at any time once the connection is established. Once a peer has received all the pieces of the file, it then becomes a seeder. So Bittorrent Protocol allows you to download files quickly compared to traditional peer-to-peer network, where only the server can make available the files. So first question, let's have a look at the exam paper. Downloading a file can use the client-server model, or alternatively, a file can be downloaded using the Bittorrent protocol. Name the model used. So the name of the model is called peer-to-peer. Bittorrent uses a peer-to-peer method. For Bittorrent protocol, explain the following. Explain the function of each of the following. What is a tracker? What is the function of the seed? What is the function of the swarm? So tracker is a central server that stores details of the other computers that have all or part of the files to be downloaded. It has the data on these peers downloading and uploading the file. It shares the IP with other clients in the swarm, allowing them to connect. What are seed? Seed are peer computers that has all 100% of the file and is uploading or downloading the content. Swarms are all the connected peer computers that have all the parts of the file to be downloaded and uploaded, for the idea of sharing the torrent files. Next, June 2007, Bittorrent Protocol used at the application layer for exchange of data. State the network model used for this protocol. It is called a peer-to-peer network. State the use of the Bittorrent for file sharing. Explain how the exchange of data is achieved using Bittorrent. In Bittorrent, what we do? The torrent descriptor file is made available. File to be shared is split into pieces. The Bittorrent client software made available to other peers, users, or computers allow them to work as seed and leeches. The peer can act as a seed used to upload pieces of files. Peers downloading the file can get these pieces from different seeds simultaneously. Once a peer has a piece of file, it can become a seed for that part of download. Leeches download much more than they upload. The central server, called a tracker, keeps record of all the peers in the swarm, in that network, in that group. And the part of the file they have can pause and restart at the same time. State two additional protocols that are used in the application layer for the exchange of data. Okay, this we have already covered in the previous chapter of protocol and TCP/IP. The protocol used in the application layer are HTTP or HTTPS, is a security, FTP, file transfer protocol, SMTP for sending email messages, POP, free, used for incoming email or messages. Now let's look at the next question. Peer-to-peer, also known as P2P, file sharing uses a Bittorrent protocol. Explain how Bittorrent protocol allows file sharing. Bittorrent client software are made available. One computer must keep a complete copy of the torrent or the files to be shared. The torrent file is split into small pieces. The computer joins the swarm by using the Bittorrent software to load a torrent file descriptor file. The computer can now download a piece of the file. Once a computer has a piece that can become a seed and upload to other members of the swarm. Pieces of the torrent are both downloaded and uploaded by each member of the swarm. Server, the central computer, called a tracker, keep record of all the computers in the swarm. The tracker share the IP address, allowing them to connect to each other. Okay, I hope this video has been useful and you can use it for your revision. Okay, goodbye.